Said you saw a
Yes.
paraprofessional, which is a teacher's aide, so to
Yes,
speak.
ma'am.
And what did you see her doing?
She was walking normally.
Yes. And where did you go? I made entry to this doorway right here, and that's where I can't remember what happened between here and I linked up with those officers. I can't remember if someone was at the door either.
Okay, but you got to the main hallway,
Yes, sir.
and then you say you linked up with other officers.
Yes.
Tell us what that means.
So when I get there, I make contact with Lieutenant, I believe it was Lieutenant Adrian Gonzales, and they're just briefing me on the situation. They're telling me which classroom they think the shooter's at. I remember them describing the chair. They point, they're like, where the chair is at. At some point, I asked if they wanted to make entry, and no. They say something about a negotiator and a shield. He explains that they got fired at as they approached the door.
And so what did you do when you found out that the police officers had been fired at?
There wasn't really much I could do. Whatever they needed, I just joined in on whatever they were doing.
So what did you do? What did you join in on?
On the hallway, I just stood left of, I believe it was Adrian Gonzales. I just stood left of him, pointing my rifle there, waiting to see what was the next plan.
You didn't know where the shooter was?
No, I thought he was going to be to the right as soon as we made entry.
You thought he was gonna be where the bodies were?
Yes.
So that's where you focused your attention?
Yes, but it was hard to see. It was dark. And then the door, you hear a door creak open in front, and then the shooting starts.
When you say a door creak open in front, what do you mean? Where was that door?
It was directly in front of us. Whoever was in front of me, whether it was a guy with a shield or a Bortac, I don't know if he was in the stacks a little. I was either 2 or 3, so I don't know if someone peeled right. But whoever was in front of me, the door was right in front of him. So the guy with the shield, more than likely.
Was it across the room?
It was straight in front of the door.
In front of the entrance door, there was another door across the room?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And so, tell us what you heard and what you saw.
So the shots ring out
From where?
directly in front. I could hear the shots coming. I'm carrying my rifle left-handed, so I can't even pick it up because we're so close together. Eventually, I transition to the right, fire a couple rounds, and it jams. Something happens with it. I'm still not sure. It felt like a long time. I know the video's fast, but it felt like a long time. Eventually, shooting happens behind me, and then it's over. And in front of me, there's someone with long hair face down, and I think I thought it was a teacher at first because he had long hair. They flip him over, and I could tell it's the shooter. He's in all black. We still have a classroom to the left. So me and another officer peel that way. And I look down.
Did you say that way to the left?
Yeah, we turned to the left to go into the second classroom, and I look down, and there's a little boy. And his shin looks pretty big. He looks older than my daughter. So I think maybe she's not in here. And then in front of me, there's a girl with a pink dress. And I thought I saw her stomach move. Like she took a breath and held it, I'm not sure. And I asked the guy to my left, did you see her breathe? But at this time, it makes sense now. I'm not getting responses, but I have a gas mask on. I don't know if he answered me or not. But right after seeing hers, when all the chaos in there started, the desks being pushed everywhere, screaming, I got out of there at that point. Once they flooded the classroom, I left to look for my daughter. I didn't want to look in there, see her in there.
So you took care of the shooter. And then you
Might not have been explained to you at that moment, but you were prepared to help out in any way possible.
Yes, sir.
And by the time you showed up at 11:56:28 roughly, there were numerous officers there.
Yes, I'm not sure of the number, but those officers.
Did you later find out that there were 376 total officers there?
Yes.
And so then you offer your help to Lieutenant Gonzales to go in, correct?
Well, not me by myself, but I did mention making entry.
So you suggested, are we going to try to make entry?
Yes.
But not by yourself.
No, not by myself.
Why?
You need a team, and there was enough of us there to form one.
So, 'cause I don't know if that's been explained to the jury, so explain, well, why do you need a team to breach a door?
Of course, they teach if you're by yourself, you go by yourself, but if there's enough for a team, you're going to form a team. The first guy, the second guy might get hit, second or third, the rest can return fire and take out the shooter.
And there's a difference in breaching a door. There's a difference between an inward breach door, inward swinging door, and an outward swinging door, correct?
Yes.
And we're going to talk about some techniques of breaching, but explain the difference between an inward swinging door and an outward swinging door and what the complications are.
An inward door, you'd be able to probably kick open. It's easier to breach. Outward door with a steel frame, you're not going to be able to kick it open. Usually those open towards hallways, corridors.
Judge, may I stand up?
Yes.
So if we have an inward swinging door this way, if this is our room we're trying to breach, this is the hallway, and you agree that a doorway is a fatal funnel.
Yes.
We explained to the jury, they've heard it before, but from your perspective, what a fatal funnel is.
Fatal funnel is this is where you're gonna die at the door. It's easy to, like right now, you can point where you came in through without even looking. That's the advantage this person has. They know where you're coming in, you don't know where they're at.
And you're funneled in, and so it's a narrowing of an area that subjects the person coming through the fatal funnel to high vulnerability.
Yes.
And that's what you said, you're gonna die in a fatal funnel.
Yes.
And so officers are taught to, at almost at all costs, to avoid a fatal funnel,
Yes.
tactically. So an inward swinging door, you said you can either get a ramming device or you can kick open a door and then you can breach it.
Yes. The supervisor tells you to, you're gonna follow his instructions, more likely.
Right, and that's reasonable because other officers are there covering and containing, right?
Yes.
And you would agree that animal that was in room 111 and 112, he was contained, right?
Well, he couldn't leave without us
That's my point.
shooting him.
So
Yeah.
he was contained, right?
Yes.
And if it wasn't for those first 5 officers, let's forget the 376 for a second. If it wasn't for those first 5 officers, that shooter potentially could have walked through the whole school and done the same thing to all those other precious children.
Yes.
Potentially.
Yes.
Because without those first 5 officers to contain that animal, there would be nothing stopping him from going to the other rooms, right?
Yes, sir.
So those first 5 officers played a key role in containing, which is part of your training, containing the threat. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And then so you also know that Adrian ultimately, not only did he go to the danger initially by himself, not only did he go into the school as one of the first 5 officers, not only did he stay into the fatal funnel, not only did he take instruction from his supervisor to call SWAT for backup, he ultimately found the map of the school so they can make further assessments. You know that now, right?
Now I know that.
And you also know that he's the one that found that master key to give to them to breach, so you guys could breach. Correct?
Now I know that, yes.
And you also know that he, with other officers, once he saw that hallway was covered, they are the ones breaking the windows and helping those other children get out. There's pictures and video of him getting out,
Yes.
right? You know that now.
Yes.
So Adrian wasn't just standing around for 3 minutes doing nothing. You would agree with that now that you know this, right?
Yes.
Would you think that's a mischaracterization of his behavior?
Everybody
Standing
has.
around for 3 minutes?
Everybody says different things. What I say doesn't matter. They're gonna have their own opinions.
That's right. And really what ultimately matters is what these 12 people think. But what I'm saying is everyone has an opinion, and we're trying to talk about some of the facts,
Okay.
right? Do you agree that facts matter over people's opinions?
Yes.
We have to analyze the facts, and so I'm presenting facts to you, and you're just sharing your thoughts with me, right?
Yes, sir.
1 second, Joe. Did you have knowledge, did you come to find out that radios were not breaking in the school? Pass the witness, Judge.
Okay, recall either side.
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
Okay, sir, you are excused with our thanks. I'm gonna tell you the rule's been invoked, you know what that is.
Yes, sir.
Just try to avoid talking about the case until you know the case is over with.
Yes, sir.
It's your today, thank you very much.
You know who went into the fatal funnel? My
Ma'am?
sister went into
Yeah.
the fatal funnel.
Ma'am,
Did she need a key? Why do you need a key?
ma'am, go ahead and have
Wasn't
a
it
seat.
locked? Y'all are saying that she didn't lock her door. She went into the fatal funnel. She did it! Not you, bastard!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna ask you to disregard, the outburst. I forewarn these folks, if they do that, there's not gonna be any warnings. They're gonna be removed for the rest of the trial. That's unfortunate, very unfortunate. So thank you very much. We'll see you back here at 1:30, and remember my instructions, 1:30.